then, I'm pretty sure this is the first time this has ever actually happened. I've got a Mazda RX8 on the channel, guys, but today's RX8, or this RX8 should we say, is a bit of a special one. It's the Mazda RX8 R3. Right then, Mazda RX8, it's a 2009 facelift car. They facelifted them in 2008. So I think the RX8 come out in 2003 and they made them for almost 10 years, right? And do you know what, this section of the video, I usually do it with the camera pointing at the car, so then you don't see me, you see the car. So let's flip the camera around. That's better, isn't it? You can see the beautiful RX8 in front of me now. Whilst it's in front of me, let's just quickly talk about the paint. It's black, of course, but it's finished with like a sort of like a goldy, bronzy sort of speckle in the paint. And when the sun's shining like it is today, lovely. It's a really nice day today. It does look really nice. But yeah, so they come out in 2003. They made them for I think nearly 10 years, and they were an extremely modern thing for the time. Like, I remember these cars coming out thinking, wow, that is a cool car, man. And it's under the bonnet. That is like the big political thing around this car. It's what makes them unique and special as well, I will say. It's a rotary engine which functions completely different to every other engine on the roads, or pretty much every other engine on the roads. It spins rather than goes up and down. That's my scientific analogy. But yeah, we'll talk about the engine in a sec. So values of these cars, quickly talk about that. You can get one, probably won't work, but you can actually get one for about £1,000 on the internet at the minute. Spend a bit more money. When I say £1,000, you probably get one like an early car as well, 03 plate, might be categorised, but whatever. Low budget ones are available for in the region of £1,000. I'm no doubt people will probably be able to get them for a bit less than that. Spend a bit more money, you'll get a later reg car. Spend a bit more money, as with anything, you'll get a facelift car. And trust me, a facelift, like I say, this is a facelift. I think they facelifted them in 08, and they've done a lot of good changes. The engine's been revised, a few little additions under the engine there to make it more reliable apparently. And then if you spend a bit more money, you'll get the R3, right? And this is again, it's like a perfected version of the facelift RX8, all right? And we'll talk about what this car's got over a normal one. So like I said, it's got the revised engine under the bonnet. It is a facelift car which consisted of the front bumper, the rear bumper, the front headlights and the rear lights, pretty much. Yeah, that's the main things. Rear spoiler as well. I don't know if that's an R3 thing. Either way, it looks bloody brilliant. And then the R3s have got forged alloy wheels, a little rear splitter under there, a side skirt just at the bottom there, really subtle side skirt, but it looks nice. And then round the front, right underneath, there's a little front splitter as well. The previous owner of this car has removed the front plate, like it had a holder here. Done a bit of a half job of it, but he's put the plate on the side there. The plate, so very Japanese looking side mounted plate. But let's quickly talk about this number plate. It's got VXR on it, so I think if I owned a Mazda RX8 and it had VXR on the plate, that would probably bother me. So because the VXR was almost like the competitor at the time for this car, and funny enough, there was a time in my life where I really wanted both, and I ended up buying a Honda Civic Type R. So yeah, something else the R3's got, which some of you might have already noticed, is these Recaro seats. Check out these seats, man. That is a huge feature on these cars. Looks proper nice inside, and lovely little cabin, lovely, nice place to be, really modern and retro. Again, remind you of the time this car came out, 2003. Not a lot's changed inside since then either. It is a proper nice environment. The steering wheel is a facelift steering wheel, so again, just really lifts the inside of the car. And one feature, let's go around to the other side because I know that's where I've got my external shots from this angle here. This is amazing, right? That's your front door, guys. I know a lot of you know this, probably every single one of you knows this, but that handle there opens your back door. So we've got two seats in the back, nice centre column going all the way through the centre of the car, and you've got a seat either side in the rear for the passengers. But look at them doors, look at them bloody doors. That is cool. And again, like for a Japanese manufacturer to put this much effort into a car, it's quite a rare thing. And I think they've done a bloody good job of it. They really pulled it off, and it is different and it is cool. And I don't know, they made them for nearly 10 years, so that's a success surely. So I think what we'll do is, I am doing my journey home in this car today just to save unnecessary journey. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get locked up, jump in the driver's seat of the RX8, and we're going to go for a drive, all right? Proper raspy sound coming from the exhaust, and there's a real deep induction sound. Let me do the windows up, although I could do with them open because it's proper hot in here. Let's get that aircon on. I much prefer having the window open though. Bit of milk on that. Nice that the sun's back though, guys, isn't it? It's nice that we've got a good bit of weather. I know it's a bit of a funny time at the minute. That person there didn't use their indicators. I was sat there waiting for them to pass on the roundabout and no indicators. Bit annoying when that happens, but we'll ignore that. But yeah, yeah, K&N carbon air filter under the bonnet. That's a nice looking thing. Very odd shape. It's rare to see an air filter like that. It's obviously made that shape to cater for the engine that it's feeding air to. The rotary engine, 1.3 litre. I remember back when I wanted one of these cars, I remember thinking, I'm going to trick my insurance company. I know a lot of RX8 owners have thought this. I'm going to trick my insurance company. I'm going to tell them, yeah, my car's just a little Mazda with a 1.3 engine and hope that I'll get cheap insurance. No, that won't work out because they'll know that your engine's got 230 bhp. So anyone thinking that, you probably won't get away with it, but it's definitely worth a try. Something we've got to talk about is, firstly, the purpled out windows. Yeah, that is not my bad editing, although my colour grading is something that I struggle with. The reason why the back window is purple is because whoever's tinted the windows in this car hasn't used UV rated window tint, I think. Bit of a guess. I think that's quite a logical guess though. Bit annoying because every time I look out my rear window, it's like I've got some dodgy sunglasses on. Ignore that, but negatives about an RX8. Now it's hard for me to talk negatively about an RX8 because I've bought and sold loads of them over the years, done quite well out of them, and I've never ever had a bad experience with one. Touch wood, that don't happen right now. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. It seems like a proper good one. It's done 83,000 miles, by the way, I didn't mention that. But negatives, right? As with anything in life, it will depreciate based on how good it is at its purpose, right? So recently I sold a Porsche Cayenne, 3.2 V6 petrol engine, small engine really, considering the size of the car. It probably weighs over 2 tons. Beautiful thing. It was like an 03 or an 04 plate car, and I sold that car for less than 3 grand. Bargain car, but fuel's a joke on it. Parts are mega expensive. Road tax is expensive, and everything that comes with that car is expensive. But if you do buy it for a small amount of money, you'll have a Porsche in your drive. So it's kind of outweighs pros and cons, yeah? And this is very similar. If you Google the word headache, it will tell you you're gonna die, right? Literally, you know what Google's like. RX8s are very similar to that. If you Google problems with my Mazda RX8 or common faults with my Mazda RX8s, it will tell you that there are absolutely lots of problems, and it will tell you basically don't buy one, right? And these are, like I say, I've got to talk about the negatives. I don't actually know the ins and outs of the problems with them, but I think with any problem, it's always good to have a good backup plan or someone who knows what they're talking about. Like me, I owned an RX6 that had issues, and my mechanic, Will VRS, perfect guy for the job. Nothing mattered other than the fact that I had to keep spending money on it, but nothing mattered. Any problem I had, I just took it to Will, he'd fix it. If you own an RX8, there's plenty of specialists out there that will look after your car in a very good way, and they will know exactly what they're doing. So I don't actually know any specialists myself, but if anyone should I go through this way? If anyone watching knows any RX8 specialists, please comment their details below. Like, we want recommendations of RX8 specialists, because like I say, that is so important. There is a bit of a knack to starting the engine on these. Again, that might change on this newer version of the engine. A knack to turning it off. I think I tend to start them without any throttle, with my foot fully on the clutch, and apparently that just it just starts on its own. Let it start on its own, and then you can get on your way. And then when you switch the engine off, Apparently a little bit of throttle just to drain the fuel out of the engine before you switch it off does it some good. But don't take my word for it, do definitely Google it. I didn't do that before, I just told you that, alright? Just a bit of knowledge I've gained over the years. Probably forgot half of it, alright? Couple more things you're going to want to know about is, I think in 2005 they changed the emissions rules, and the later cars are in the higher tax bracket, and the higher tax bracket is probably in the region of about double the cost. That's worth knowing. So 55 onwards, I don't know if it is 55, it might be 2006 onwards, there or thereabouts, right? Double check that. Fuel, I think you're an idiot if you ever moan about a performance car that's expensive on fuel, but these are supposedly worse on fuel than your average 230 brake horsepower car. I've never actually daily driven one. Like I said, although we've had loads in stock, I've never daily driven one, so I can't really comment on fuel economy. And then the other thing is oil. They use more oil than normal. Again, the updated version of the engine might not use as much, it might use more, I don't know, but I do know that people will comment below giving you all the information you need, alright? I'm just here to give you my view on RX8s and how I feel about how it drives, alright? So, the gearbox, 6-speed manual gearbox, is sort of like triangular shaped gear stick here, and that theme continues on the bonnet and stuff. There's all that triangle is everywhere you look on an RX8. That basically represents the piston and such. I don't know what the name of it is because I ain't got a bloody clue what I'm talking about, but the bit in the center of the engine, all right? It's quite good to see that here, there and everywhere. So 6-speed manual gearbox. It feels like a really high compression engine. A lot of people say that it produces a lot of torque. I'm sure I just had a look. Doesn't produce hardly any torque. Doesn't feel like a torquey engine, and it just feels it feels responsive. And like I say, high compression, but definitely I wouldn't describe this as a torquey engine. What I would describe it as is an engine that, if I go the opposite direction to this Audi's going in, because he's relaxing. I'm not going to drive like an idiot, don't worry. But the way I would describe this engine is, it revs really high. You feel very encouraged to rev it high. Plenty of power, delivers power really well considering it is, like I say, 230 bhp, naturally aspirated, no turbo, none of that, and it is a little 1.3 engine. Great fun to drive, and one thing I would say is the power delivery is very consistent. I did look online out of curiosity this morning at dynagraphs for Mazda RX8s because I was curious to see, like, how do they actually deliver power on a graph, and they're so consistent. Although apparently the peak power is at 8,200 revs, which is right at the top end of the rev range, but when you look at the dynagraphs, they seem really consistent in the way that they deliver power. Peak torque is about 5,200, which is where I've just passed, and it's bloody great fun, man. 1,350 kilos, and back when I was 19 years old, I got myself into a wonderful position where I could afford to spend, I think my budget was £7,000, man. I was 19 years old. And the cars that were on my list were a Mazda RX8, an Audi TT, because they were a great car at the time as well, wicked car. I've got one of them in stock, I might actually do a video on one of them. Audi TT, Mazda RX8, a Honda Civic Type R, and an Astra VXR. They're all about similar price range. What the RX8 offered over every other one of all of them other cars was value for money. You seem to get so much more for your money than the others. But I ended up, like I said earlier, buying the Honda Civic Type R. The one that I bought had nitrous on it. It was a savage car, and I just always had the bug to own one. But comparing the interior of this to a Civic Type R, it's incomparable, man. It's just so much nicer inside than the Civic Type R. So, like I say, despite the running costs, there is so much quality here. There's so much positives, and I've got a feeling that lots of people might have considered buying one. I honestly believe that if you're in a position where you're looking at them similar types of cars for around that budget, you've got to check out an RX8, man. Wicked car. You might find yourself, let's get past this fan, you might find yourself tinkering around with it more often than you would your Honda Civic Type R, but you know what? Some people love a little tinker around with their car, don't they? Oh, I've got a bit of a problem with my car, got to spend the whole weekend sorting it out. And it is a bit of a commitment, a bit like owning a bloody naughty dog. I don't know how that just sprung to mind, but it is a bit of a commitment. But you know what? I think you'll thoroughly enjoy owning a Mazda RX8, and I think bottom line is, like I keep saying, they are great value for money, alright? So I'm gonna end it here, but yeah man, finally got an RX8 on my channel. Love it, love the way it delivers power, loads of noise, loads of fun, rear wheel drive, lightweight. What else can I say? Great, 6-speed manual gearbox, fantastic thing. About to get overtaken by a Mercedes A-Class, looks like a diesel SE, not even a proper car, but you know what, I'll let it pass me. I'll end the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit like. Oh, it's a CLA 220D. Hit like, hit subscribe if you're new to my channel. This is the day after I posted my video saying I've just hit 100,000 subscribers, by the way. So yesterday I hit 100,000 subscribers in my life, although by the time this video goes live it'll be a couple of weeks on, but I'm still absolutely buzzing about that, so thanks to everyone for that. And yeah, give me a follow on Instagram at Calvin's Car Diary, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader. Right guys, so this is a bit of a serious video. I need to talk to you about my E46 M3 touring project. That video will be live on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. I'll see you then.